Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. I got my week 1 War League match. We're playing versus GCI this week. So only thing I know about this guy is that he played Rescue Cat Burn in a tournament online 6 months ago, and he played Panda Burn in a GCI on YouTube 3 months ago. So I'm just gonna go in with pretending he's just playing Burn. That's it for the pre-match. Let's just get into it. Okay, so this is where that information about Burn will influence how I play this turn. So basically, if I'm 100% blind, I will just set Spy here and end my turn. But if I set Spy versus Burn, and say he goes Giant Rat attack or something, and then uses Trio, I'm just locked. Not necessarily locked. I could swing my Spy into a Giant Rat and then Tribe to destroy all the beasts. But in general, just try not to lock yourself. So I don't want to set Spy, just because I don't want to get locked. So what I want to do is either summon Spy or summon Breaker. And I felt summon Spy is a little too weak. The benefits to it are like, if he has Gravity Bind, I get to see exactly where the Gravity Bind is, so that Breaker hits that 100%. But I think that just like summoning Spy and then getting it run over by like a Giant Rat or something will just be pretty bad. I don't want to Regeki Break to protect the Spy because I don't want to discard any of these 4 cards. So I'd rather use this Spy as something to discard for Tribe and Regeki Break. I definitely don't want to summon Tribe, because that will still be needed later. I have potential Tribe BLS plays going. So I decided to summon Breaker for all these reasons. And he allows it. So now I have the decision between just attacking for 19 or just using the effect now. In hindsight, I should probably attack. If he has Gravity Bind, what does he do? Would he activate it, or would he take the 19? He would probably take the 19 and hope that I destroy the non-Gravity Bind. But I decided to just use this, just in case there would be like a random Sakuretsu and he's not actually playing Burn. I don't want to just risk it for 300 damage. And I do hit Gravity Bind, so that's great. Attack for 16. And I don't have to set Regeki Break, but I feel like if I draw Thunder Dragon, I don't have to set it. But I chose to just because maybe I can get some OTK out of this hand next turn with like Tribe, BLS, Knock, and Regeki Break. He goes for Lily. Attacks. I don't really see a reason to use Regeki Break here. I would rather save it for potentially Level limit area B, something that stops me. This Lily I will plan to take out with just Tribe, or I don't even have to take it out right away. I could do something else. Yeah, plus I want him to pay 2,000 so that I get closer to OTKing him. Like if I just draw Thunder Dragon, I win the game. Or even Faith. Yeah, even Faith. I draw Chaos Sorcerer. So I do now have a play where I could discard the BLS and summon Sorcerer, but he has 44, so that's not enough, so I'm not going to do that, of course. So the question is going to be between Spy and Tribe. Again, if I set Spy... So he won't attack into Spy with Lily, right? So what happens when it goes back to my turn next turn? I could maybe summon Tribe at that point and flip Spy after that. And if he chains Trio, that's okay. Yeah, so you could do that, or you can just summon Tribe right now and just continue pressing for 1,600. I choose the Tribe instead of the Spy just because I still don't want to risk any possible locks, even though I do have answers to the lock. I decided I just want to get damage in. And like at this point, what's he gonna do? Set a monster, so I get to knock and potentially just win the game with Rieki Break into summoning Chaos Sorcerer. He goes for Ring, which is actually just completely fine because he still takes 1,600. And he summons Breaker now, which I really don't like to see. I'm gonna have to chain Rieki Break, and to give me live plays instead of just like hoping I draw Thunder Dragon, I have to discard BLS here and just hope that I can win with Sorcerer Knock. And the reason I don't target back row is because think about what he did turn 1. He set Gravity Bind and a back row. Is he setting 2 non-chainable back rows turn 1 and just getting heavy stormed? I doubt it. So I'm thinking the first back row is basically just Secret Barrel. Like, it's just straight up Secret Barrel. There's no other card it can be. So you use the level limit. And I draw Duo. So level limit shuts me down here. I can't pressure him anymore now. And I lost my Breaker and Rieki Break, which is why him summoning Breaker to destroy my Rieki Break was really bad. But I draw Duo, which is really good, so I get to just discard his hand. And I still have 2 good cards in my hand. I debated summoning Chaos Sorcerer here, but I just didn't see anything that I have to defend myself from. Like Giant Rat would just go to defense mode. Panda would just attack me for 800, and then I would Chaos Sorcerer banish it next turn. There's like Premature for Lily, but that would put him at 2,000, so he wouldn't be able to use Lily's effect. Yeah, so. And I don't think he plays Duo, so I don't mind keeping 2 in hand. He top decks Charity, discarding Mindcon and Giant Rat, and then plays Chain Energy. I draw Mirror Force. So This turn, you could say, is the same thing as last turn, except one thing. Now I care a little more about being dealt 800 damage from Panda. So I decide to summon Sorcerer now. Since I'm planning to summon this anyway at some point, I don't want to just take 800, which is really important. All my life points are very important now with the chain energy on field. And no reason to set the Mirror Force. I just pass. So that's another back row, and this worries me now. Because he's paying 500 to set this back row. He doesn't have to set any back rows. But because he's paying 500 to set this one, it worries me that this is probably a really good one, like a Drama Trio. And considering I think the first back row is Barrel, it's getting close to me losing here. And I draw Thunder Dragon, which is completely worthless with chain energy on field. Yeah, I just go for set Mirror Force because I have a read that the new back row is very likely Trio, and if he draws Panda, I will want to Mirror Force it. You could argue about maybe trying to banish my own Chaos Sorcerer, but no, it's not worth it. Like, my win condition in this game is draw Heavy Storm or draw Answer to Level Limit and attack with Sorcerer for game. I draw Jar of Greed, again, useless. And he's still setting cards. Oops, I accidentally hovered over it. He's still setting cards, so again, I think this is a good card. But at this point, I decide I'm still going to set Jar of Greed. Because I have to draw Heavy or MST, like, very soon. If I'm not already beat by this field that he has. But he has game. He has Barrel, Deserts, and the card on the left was Trio. Okay. Alright, so I have Tribe, BLS, 2 Jars, Knight, and Faith. The hand doesn't look amazing, right? But it actually is a really good hand versus Burn. Night Assailant is a really good turn 1 set versus Burn. And Jar of Greeds obviously are good here. Just in case there's anybody who doesn't set their Night Assailants turn 1 versus Burn, you definitely should, because it just destroys all their good stuff. It destroys their Cyber Jar, Morphing Jar, Panda, Giant Rat. There's other stuff too. Goes for Exiled, and yeah, it's completely fine trade with me. Note that I have the Tribe, discard Faith, summon BLS potential with this hand. You draw Regeki Break, great card versus Burn. Use Jar of Greed, which gives me Thunder Dragon. Use that, which gives me 2 more. Use the other Jar of Greed, because I still don't really have a play. Okay. So I do have live BLS already. So I definitely do consider just dropping BLS right now and attacking for 3,000. However, the reason I don't is because if he answers that, the only thing I have left to answer set monsters is my Regeki Break, which I don't want to use to answer a set monster. I would rather have this answer maybe a Level Limit or Gravity Bind that's stopping me, or just anything, any threat. So the best play here is just summoning Tribe and attacking for 16. And you may think I want this tribe to answer like Ojama trios and stuff, but I actually don't need to because BLS and Regeki Break answer those, and I have Sakuretsu to protect the tribe. And you don't want to just be like going Setsaku pass here, because you benefit so much from putting pressure on the burn player. If I don't do 16 here, he just gets like at least an extra turn. I don't say Regeki Break just because I don't feel I need it. I would only set this if I feel like I'm going to get OTK for some reason. But I don't feel an OTK coming, since he only showed Panda Burn game 1, not like Rescue Cat stuff. So I feel safe with just Saku, plus I don't play too hard into Heavy Storm. And he goes Panda and attacks. So when he attacks here, he's telegraphing that he has Ojama Trio. Sure, it could still be Book of Moon, very, very randomly. These decks don't usually play Book of Moon, but if he has Book of Moon, he has Book of Moon, I don't care. So I decide to allow this just because I want him to flip up his Ojama Trio. And in GOAT format, when you replay an attack, you can still activate battle traps like Sakuretsu and Mirror Force, and that rule gets changed later on. So he does flip the trio. He ends up not attacking for a while, so I told him that the replay occurs here. He attacks, and I use Sakuretsu. And plays level limit. So now I have a great situation where I get to just destroy all these tokens for free. And he doesn't have any chains to it like Just Desserts, so that's really great for me. And again here, I'm just going to want to keep applying pressure. So I'm going to summon Breaker to destroy level limit. And no reason to summon BLS because I can still just win next turn with this amount of damage, and I don't risk anything like random Mirror Force that these decks sometimes play. Just set Regeki Break, sets a back row and a monster. I don't see a reason to do end phase Regeki Break. I'm just gonna go BLS to banish the set. You know, it's just Morphing Jar and Cyber Jar are really bad for me. And he just scoops, even though it wasn't game. Later on, I actually watched it with cards face up, so his set was actually Mindless Radiant. He didn't want me to see that he sided into Cat there. But it didn't actually make sense because he sided back into Chain Energy Burn for game 3. So he actually should have showed me the Mindless so that I might change the way I side deck for game 3. Because I do side differently versus Cat and just regular Panda Burn. Okay, so he starts with this opening of Chain Energy, Triple Set, and Lily. So this opening is really, really strong if your opponent doesn't have Heavy Storm. But when they do have Heavy Storm, you kind of just lose. And this is kind of the game you play with Chain Energy. I do have Heavy, so... he tries to chain Just Desserts, which is not a legal play because I have 0 monsters on field. And I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it in game. The Watchers chat told me. Okay, so got that figured out, and then we continue. Play here is pretty obvious. It's actually just set Night Assailant, and then you have to debate between the back rows you set. So I was thinking, if he has Heavy Storm, is this the play that he makes on turn 1? And the answer is probably. Yes. He would probably still make this play if he had Heavy Storm. Except he might even set the Heavy Storm next to it and just say, fuck it. So, I'm not setting 3. That's for sure. I'm not setting MST, Ring, or Regeki Break. So you have to debate between whether you want to set an MST or do you want to set just Ring, Regeki Break. I decided for just Ring and Regeki Break. Just because it's like way safer. And if he storms, I don't mind just ringing Lily, losing the Regeki Break. Yeah, whatever. He goes for Mind Control on Night Assailant, which is just great for me. And he flips it so that I can't flip it on my turn to destroy his Lily. Except when you flip it, it destroys a token, which is also good for me. So I draw BLS, I don't have a play. I just put Night Assailant to defense and pass. He passes back and I draw Tribe, so I do have a play now. I could summon Tribe and I could destroy Lily. I just don't really like that. I feel like I want a little bit better of a play, because like I have to discard a really good card like Regeki Break, BLS, or MST. So I decide to just keep waiting. And now I draw Koichi, so that's a good play. Just set that and pass turn. And now he Churnades. So now I have to think. And what I have to think about is whether I want to use Regeki Break to destroy one of my own cards. So let's think about this. Let's say I ring Lily and I don't use Regeki Break on one of my own cards. And let's say he summons Panda and attacks my Night Assailant. I would lose 23. So 400 from Ring and then 23 from Panda is 27. So I would be left with 27. I would have 3 monsters on field. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 9 total cards. So I would be dead to 2 burn cards. Whereas if I Regeki Break, I would not be dead to 2 burn cards plus Panda. However, I decided with him having Barrel and Just Desserts in the graveyard already, it's really, really unlikely that he has a hand of just Panda double burn card. And also, it's possible that he would have set one of those burn cards on one of the previous turns instead of holding it in his hand. That's not guaranteed, but I think people lean towards just setting their traps instead of holding. So I just decide not to use Regeki Break, and I just go for Ring Lily. And if he has it, he has it. So he has the Panda, which is the obvious one. You could always just assume it was Panda. And when I see this, I knew it was over. I'm just going to MST level limit so that my Koichi doesn't go to defense mode. Flip the Koichi, draw a book. I still need a Light Engrave, so just go Tribe, discard Faith, call Beasts. And just put the max pressure here with BLS. Hit for 6,000. And then just set Book of Moon with Ryeki Break. So even Snatch can't beat me. Even Heavy Storm Snatch can't beat me because I will chain Book. So yeah, there's no way to lose. Heavy Storm Ring. Heavy Storm Ring doesn't beat me either because I will Book. Yeah, so I can't lose from this game state. Aside from maybe some crazy pot charity stuff. And he sets this, and I have a guaranteed win because I Ryeki Break, target the back row, and BLS will use its effect to banish the set Cyberjar. And that's my week 1 game. It wasn't the most interesting, but there was some stuff on how to play against Burn. So yeah, I'll see next week if I will do week 2. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.